Hi, everybody. It's Spiritual Sunday, and I want to welcome you to Talks with DK. Today, we're going to talk about energy. I know you've heard this before. Everything is energy. People are energy. Places are energy. Things are energy. Emotions are energy. Were you aware of that one? Okay, let's get a little more specific here. People. Based on where they are on that spiritual spiral, they carry different levels of energy or vibration. That's my kitty Oscar in the back. Some people are filled with the energy of love and light, while others are filled with the energy of toxicity or darkness. We are all located somewhere in that very broad spectrum. Our actions hold energy that we put out into the universe. Our thoughts put out energy into the universe. Our emotions put out energy into the universe. And just a little note about karma here, which we will talk a little bit more about in next week's video. What we put out comes back to us. What you reap, you shall sow. That is the law of the universe. If we are feeling hatred, we are attracting hatred. If we are feeling empathy and compassion, we are attracting empathy and compassion. The bottom line is, when you are loving others, you are also loving yourself. And when you are bringing harm upon another, you are also bringing harm upon yourself. Every interaction we have with others is energy, and it's in our best interest to understand that. I'm sure everyone watching this video has encountered what people have termed energy vampires. These are people that are in a negative state, in a toxic state, and they tend to draw upon our energy to make themselves feel better. Now, I'm not saying ignore these people because they may need our help, but we need to be cautious about how much time and energy of our own that we are giving to them. Too much contact and too much involvement will result in a depletion of your own energy. In true vampire form, they will suck the life out of us. We will talk more about energy vampires in a future video on self-love and self-empowerment, because boundaries are important. Now, this is a topic that many may not be aware of. When we have sexual intercourse with another human being, we are exchanging energy. I remember talking to Dharma about this many years ago. I asked him if it was wrong to have sex on a casual basis. What can I say? I was going through a divorce at the time. He said it was not wrong and that we could have sex with whoever we wanted. Although, there is a caveat to that. If we are with someone who is cheating, or we are cheating on someone we are committed to, we can expect to be cheated on ourselves at some point in the future. Now back to Dharma's response. What he wanted to clarify was that we can have sex with anybody we want to have sex with, but that we should be very careful about who we have sex with, and here is why. Upon orgasm, there is an energy exchange that takes place. Your energy goes into that other person, and that other person's energy enters inside of your body. So Dharma cautioned us about whose energy we were taking into our own bodies. Think about that one for a minute. Places hold energy too. That's why it might bring us comfort to be inside of a church or another sacred place. When I was going through my first divorce, I found solace in St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. I went there often to pray and to meditate because it always provided me the comfort that I needed. When I lived in Massachusetts, I dedicated one bedroom just for meditation for both me and my partner, who meditated as often as I did. That room is where I taught my daughter how to meditate. And I can remember whenever we would go in there to meditate, our dog Jojo would come in with us, and he would lay down at my feet and just soak up all the good energy in that room. He loved it as much as we did. Things hold energy too. A lot of people who are spiritual already know this. That's why they buy crystals to put in their homes or to wear on their bodies. These crystals hold energy, but jewelry holds energy as well. So does furniture. So do living, breathing things like trees and flowers and plants. A note on the jewelry, something that Dharma taught us a long time ago. Gold holds on to negative energy. Silver does not. Just a note on crystals too. They're nice to have in our homes, and we enjoy wearing them, especially for their healing properties. But they need to be cleared on a regular basis of negative energy that they may be holding on to. When we would sit with Dharma, we would bring him our jewelry and our crystals, and he would clear them for us. But we didn't always have access to Dharma. So what he told us to do was to clean them and soak them in salt water and then put them outside in the sun to dry. Also, he told us that crystals hold an enormous amount of energy and not to put any of them on top of anything that was electrical, or they could interfere with that electrical unit. Now that seemed kind of ludicrous to me, so I ignored his advice, and I put my big, beautiful amethyst crystal on top of my television set. Because back then we didn't have flat screen TVs. We had these big, black, ugly boxes that we wanted to make look pretty. When my television set blew out a few days later, I realized it wasn't that absurd after all, and I probably should have listened to my spiritual teacher. So guys, I have to tell you a funny story. I actually filmed the first part of this video yesterday, and today I was working on getting it edited and uploading it to schedule it to be released on Sunday, because I'm going to be flying from Boston to LAX during the day Sunday, and I didn't want to disappoint anyone by not having a video posted that day. But as you know, this video is about energy, and the part that came at the end, for some reason, does not appear. And I thought maybe I accidentally cut off the end of the video during editing the earlier part, went back and looked on my Google Drive to see what was there, and that part was cut out. So then I said, well, let me go back to the original video I did on my phone. I went into my deleted folders, found the video, and the end was cut off there too. The reason I find this interesting is because of what I would talk about in the second part of the video, which I'll fill you in on right now, without my hair being done, with no makeup, with no special clothes, just me hitting you up straight on. When you buy a used pillow or a used sofa, you are bringing that energy of whoever owned those pieces of furniture into your home. Now we get to the part that is a little bit darker, and why I think the second part of the video didn't show up. Everything is energy. Remember that. What I wanted to say was that television and film also carries a certain amount of energy. And I wondered if any of you remember in the 90s there was a film called The Crow, which was considered cursed. Partly because the star, Brandon Lee, who was only 28 years old, was accidentally killed on set during the shooting of that film. But it's not the only dark film where they had issues like this. The Exorcist, remember that one? 9 people died during shooting that film, and a fire destroyed large portions of the set. The Omen, both its star Gregory Peck and screenwriter David Seltzer had their flights struck by lightning on the way to filming. And the director, Richard Donner's hotel, was bombed. Twilight Zone, the movie. Vic Morrow and 2 child actors died during the filming of that piece of art. Rosemary's Baby. A few months after its release, the director Roman Polanski lost his wife Sharon Tate when she was murdered by followers of Charles Manson. I remember when that happened. I could list more, but I won't. What I can tell you is that the more evolved I've become, the less tolerant I am of films and television that are dark in nature. I mean, I was never really excited about watching horror to begin with, but now I won't watch it at all. And I love television, I truly do. But I find it hard to engage in shows that focus on a lot of violence, brutal murders, or anything too dark or depressing. One season of Game of Thrones was all I could handle. Barbaric murder, rape, and I mean, that show was beautifully written. It had amazing talent in it. Aesthetically, it was shot beautifully, but I just don't consider that sort of thing entertainment anymore. If you want to improve your life, improve the vibrations that you are exposed to. It's as simple as that. So start with your home. Go out there and buy some smudge and clean up all that negative energy. As always, if you have any questions, you can comment on the YouTube page and I'll respond. Or you can email me privately at reverendmary8@gmail.com and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Next week's topic will be in conjunction with this week's topic. It is the law of attraction. So until next Sunday, don't watch any horror films. Be blessed and be safe. Namaste.